Alright, what we're going to do is we're just going to change it up. Because I'm about to lose my mind. With, like, numbers and stuff. Listen, these... what we can't see doesn't mean something's not going on. Because we're towards the ass end of some very heavy shit. And it's black magic. For centuries, for a long time. You've got human beings literally in their DNA for God knows how many generations that have never looked up. They've never even been allowed to know anything at all. Nothing. The only thing that they know is what they've only seen through billboards, magazines, and etc. But I thought we would mix it up. We're going to talk about Star-Fkn-Wars. How many of y'all know what Star Wars is? Before we even get going, I'll just give you a hint. What is Star Wars? What do you think it is? What do you think Star Wars is? I don't know. I'm just trying to give you a good hint. Because everything has a, it all has meaning. It all comes to something. Let's just find out. Look. Star Wars Wikipedia. Oh, you're not going to say nothing. Okay, Star Wars. I'll read it. Wonder if I can get this to read. How do you do that? Hang on. Can you do that? What links here? No. I probably can. But it doesn't matter. It says Star Wars is an American epic space opera media franchise created by George Lucas, which began in '77 film and quickly became worldwide pop culture. Well, of course, when you ram it in people's throats and then sell them toys in every store that's around all the communities, they ain't got a fucking choice. Star Wars is one of the highest grossing media franchises of all time. And listen, I ain't had a lot of sleep. So if my voice is going out or if I'm slurring some, it's because of that. But the show must go on. But we're just going to read a few things. Lucasfilm. And it was Lucifer film before when it first began. Was it Lucifer? Some of y'all know. I think it was Lucifer film. And here's the thing. Who would keep you from looking up Lucifer? Look, any movie you watch, Luke, Lucas, Lucius, Lucy, all those are Lucifer terms. And then you've always got Michael references, which is always, there's always a Mike, Mikey, Michael. It's fucked up when you really start listening. And in the 80s movies, they're always going, excuse me, my lungs are a little busted up too right now because of something else. And it was like, God. I said, there it is. Let's do Star Wars. But let's find out where it came from. Let's see. 9 films, imagine that. Let's see. Original. Nope. Damn, there's a ton of shit. If you ever look in here. Okay, let's do this. Where did the vision for Star Wars come from? Where did George Lucas's vision come for Star Wars?
According to CBR, more Star Wars movies were always part of Lucas's vision. He conceived of the project partly as an homage to the Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers serials of the 1930s, which broke their stories down into multiple chapters presented weekly as a means of attracting audiences into theaters.
Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon 1930s.
Flash Gordon is a 1936 movie directed by Frederick Stefani, starring Buster Crabbe, Gene Rogers, and Charles Middleton.
13 chapters, of course, because of your 13. Okay, so, let's see. Alex Raymond. So, the planet, the tunnel, production, release, sequels, external links. No, we're trying to figure out, like, let's see, Alex, here he is. His weirdo little mustache. That's funny. He died at 46. The only multipliers and numbers in the 46 is 2 and 23. 223. It says this guy, now remember, we do an inventory, so we're really going to the roots as far as what this thing is telling us. That this gadget's telling us about Star-Fkn-Wars. Because it's an idea that he's seen from the Flash Gordon. So this guy was an American cartoonist and illustrator who is best known for creating the Flash Gordon comic strip for King Features Syndicate in 1934. The strip was subsequently adapted into many other media, from whatever, Flash Gordon to this shit and to that shit. Okay, but it doesn't say what. It doesn't say what gives him his motivation to do this. And I mean, I really ain't got time to look into all of it, but it's not saying, like, it should right off the rip say, bam, this is the reason. What gave George Lucas the vision for Star Wars?
According to CBR,
we're back
more
to
Star
here.
Wars movies were always part of Lucas's vision. He conceived of the project partly as an homage to the Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers serials of the 1930s, which broke their stories down into multiple chapters presented weekly as a means of attracting audiences into theaters.
It says, what was George Lucas's goal for Star Wars? And it says, with Joseph Campbell's seminal publication, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, Lucas incorporated archetypal characters and the monomyth structure to Star Wars in the aim of bringing the core of humanity to the fore of the modern world using a modern fairy tale, his new form of mythology. So are they admitting that it is the fucking Zodiac that they did? Because Darth Vader is Saturn and Luke Skywalker is the sun. Skywalker, Luke, the Skywalker, he's walking across the sky. Darth Vader, dark light, black light, duality. Fucking, he's got the black robe on. Darth Vader's judging the whole fucking thing. It ain't nothing but that. Every character in that shit comes from that shit. Do you know how easy it is to know that and then to just go, we're going to put names with those lights and then create fucking characters? Yeah, it's insane. But it's so easy. But from what I'm getting right there, what was the original concept for Star Wars? The Flash Gordon serial. Original trilogy. In 1971, Lucas wanted to film an adaptation of the Flash Gordon serial, but could not obtain the rights. What a good excuse, Jesse's. So he began developing his own space opera. After directing American Graffiti, which is fucking crazy, he wrote 2-page synopsis, which 20th Century Fox decided to invest in. No, they fucking didn't. Listen, this is what happened. They already knew it was coming. You gonna tell me that he just came up with this fucking idea for Star Wars and then all of a sudden in McDonald's and Burger King there's kids meals with toys, fucking movies, shirts, posters, billboards, fucking toys, everything? No. And see, they already have it all planned out. It's our whole point, to have it all planned out. And then they raise a bunch of dummies to write shit. And they do. And then they sell it. Because, I mean, look, all he is a fucking warlock. That's it. Now, I don't know that, but I can tell you this, that's where that comes from. And see, they use that against the people. Okay? And when literally billions of people that do not ever look up, ever, you need to think about that. Never, ever, ever looking up and then watching some shit that comes from that. That does. It comes from that. It comes from geocentric. It is so fucking easy. Everything that they do, Lord of the Rings, all of it, Harry Potter. In Batman Dark Knight Rises, he says Mr. Black is the only one that can save Gotham. That's Saturn! And Saturn kills you slow and devours his own children. But it's funny, his new form of mythology. But it's not. It's not fucking, it's crazy because, yeah, you know, you've got all these damn people going to Star-Wars or Comic-Con or whatever. And I ain't got nothing against them because, see, when you really understand how mindsets are created from birth and how a conclusion is developed in a child's mind at a young age. I mean, listen, I can see it now. The little baby's eyes are just fresh into this world. And what nobody knows is the first 5 years of a baby, the aura around it from heaven, from the zodiac, and scripture talks about it. Well, the first 5 years of all this and everything else, it's taken, and then Ahriman takes over. And that's why you can't ever talk to the person that you're trying to talk to, because it's not, in here, it's not real. You can tell them, be like, TV's not real. You're so crazy. And they don't understand that connection that they have to this is a connection that they need to be that to this. And so the worst thing to do is for people that don't know, is to go to the other side enjoying emotions created by very evil fucking people and not knowing that they're doing it on purpose to make it worse for you, because you're enjoying something that comes from something that they're lying about. And seeing them emotions and all that, and entertainment and all that, should be from that, because power comes from that. I know it's difficult to see it, but I know the words right now are very clear in your subconscious. Should be breaking you in half. And scripture says you're born under, he created this for signs and seasons and for years and days. Well, there's 12 signs and 4 seasons right there. That's where the clock comes from. That's why you don't have a clock no more in schools or anywhere, sundials. It's because it's just right there. And the more that the brain just looks at that, the more dumb it becomes. There's no more writing in cursive or writing period. They've got emojis now. Can you imagine the mind in 10 years of all of them? Fuck yeah, look at me! That's going to be everywhere. Yeah. And you're going to tell me that we're coming out of this and you actually think that a vote counts. When you can't see this for what it is, you don't deserve to vote. It doesn't matter who you are. Yoda, listen. Toyotas, listen. The little dude, Yoda. Boy, I learned some shit some years back. Let's see if my subconscious can remember some. Look. Yoda, Star Wars.
Frank Oz. According to Wikipedia, Frank Oz provided Yoda's voice in each film and performed as lead puppeteer in Star Wars. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Okay. It says birth year. This is, you can't have a birth year. That's my whole point. Emojis, and now they're putting a fucking birth year for Yoda. But look, that little dude right there is like a real thing, if you will. If you've ever seen the movie, is it 300, when he climbs to the top of the mountain to ask if he can go fight and shit? Yeah, and who's up there? Fucking oracles. Yeah. Okay, well, like a hierarchy. Yeah, that has fucking deep knowledge. Well, it's funny how, see, they always incorporate, like Brian on Family Guy. Brian represents brain, and also some other things. But they're characters that you would think, I mean, in the movie, yeah, he kicks ass and can do all kinds, but you don't understand. This character right here represents something in this physical realm and the other side to these people that I can't even fucking imagine. I can't even grasp. Like, I can't even try to explain it, because it just fucking blows you away when you really are broken from their system. You know. And they know what's up with me. But I'm just saying, it is fucking so easy to see it. But see, now I'm speaking like mortal wise. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, I can't say anything to people, you know, because some of these things that even you too, because it's this program that everybody's in. It's just nasty. And it is. And if you can see it for what it is, you're just very fortunate and very lucky. And that's all I can say. You know, because now, it's fucking crazy. I ain't even seen commercials in forever. And today I was trying to watch some shit to see the numbers, because they're all fucking perfect. And I seen the one where the guy's like, "Are you having a mental illness because your hands are shaking? Well, you need this." And I was like, "Is this real?" And it's like, well, that's a product of the brain and the anatomy not having the material it's made of. Do you not see it? Just, this whole nation is so sickly, and that's Arimon, sickly and all fucking frail and pathetic, and if it's Nazis. If you don't go with them, and it's like, explain how you're not a Nazi. You have to explain in detail, because they're one-sided. And you are too. You don't get to say, no, we're not. Because you are. Doesn't matter what group you're in. You're one-sided. You know, but truthfully, we don't even have to go into all the characters, because they represent the big boys in the zodiac. You know, from Saturn to Venus and Mercury, the Moon, Sun, Mars, Jupiter. You know, to Orion, to all of it. Every bit of Draco. All of them. Every bit of them. And when you know that, it's easy to raise someone like George Lucas or Steven Spielberg and give them knowledge. And then to say, create scripts, which is sorcery and black magic, so we can introduce it on the broadcast, casting spells in the radio waves, airwaves, so we can penetrate the subconscious. And then we can give them fake emotions, fake, and create their cognition around fake shit. We're going to learn our ABCs and 1, 2, 3s with Disney and cartoons, yeah. One guy told me, he goes, "I learned how to fucking count from my dad's beer cans." I was like, see, that's why you're so fucking hardcore. You know what I mean? And it is. It depends on the environment. And this nation knows that all children's, it's all different. And now these gadgets are there. I mean, they could say based on a true story. Based on a true story. And in 2 generations, they would be going, "Oh, no, it's a true story. I just don't fucking know. My daddy was there when it all happened. Granddaddy, daddy. Yes, fuck them." That's how badass it is. So I thought I'd change it up. I love you.